Hello, my name is Erin Gall, and I'm the chair of the Small Business Committee for the Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce. We are very excited to be here today to congratulate small shops and Fred George with their Small Business of the Month win for October 2020. There's something here for everybody. Fred, can you tell us a little bit about small shops? I know it's been a couple of years since you've been here, but you have grown tremendously. So tell us a little about small shops.
Well, thanks. Yeah, we've been here just over 2 years now, and we started out about halfway full. We're pretty much totally full right now. The idea of small shops is to be a place for would-be entrepreneurs who want to get into retail, to be able to do so without a long-term lease, which can devastate you financially, without having to hire and train and fire and advertise for employees, and without having to spend their days here. So our merchants come in, they rent a small shop, 80, 100, 200 square feet, stock it with their own merchandise, make it look nice. We've got some rules for that. Price it and then go home. And we're open 7 days a week selling their items for them. We also do a little bit of coaching and training with our people. That got slowed down some by COVID because the big meetings had to end for a while. But we like to help take steps to make sure our folks who are just starting off in entrepreneurship or have small experience learn the things they need to do to be able to become successful entrepreneurs.
And you've got just over 30,000 square feet here to share with all the would-be entrepreneurs, and it's very well covered. You've got antiques, books, new items, apparel, bedding. Is there any specific thing you're looking for now to fill any niche, or do you still have spaces that people can fill?
We have a few spaces. Christmas is filling us up. As most of you know, Christmas is the busiest shopping season of the year. So November, December, whatever you have out for sale is probably going to sell and make you money. So we have a few spaces left. We have people coming in about every week now. As far as things we'd like to have but don't have, I've got all the big categories covered, although I've always thought that cornhole boards and bags would be a great item here. We've never had anybody do that.
I would agree there. They're hard to find, and well, I mean, they can be, and if you want them a certain way. You guys are also very active with the community. You do a ton with Crime Stoppers. You helped with a huge mass giveaway, Downey's Partnership for Children. We're standing here in the community fundraising space, which is for any nonprofit that wants to rent a booth to sell items or products for fundraisers. Tell us some of the other ways you fit into the community and how you give back, which is pretty extensive.
Well, sure. And first off, this isn't for rent to local nonprofits. It's free.
Oh,
you just set an appointment, say, hey, our Boy Scout troop, our church group, our charitable organization raising money for kids with disabilities, whatever. We'd like to raise money. This space is yours for free. It'd be 30 days longer if we don't have anybody else waiting for it. And as far as community outreach, the mask giveaway is something we're real proud of. We gave away, we had 50,000 masks to give away. We gave away about 20,000 masks out front during and right after that event.
Right.
We love that. Every time we have an event outside, we have some with little vendors and crafts out front. We're always raising money for something, whether it's a family whose father has cancer and is racking up medical bills, or a charitable organization. You know, if we rent spaces out front to crafts people, none of that money ever comes back here. That's money for the community and from the community. Our main mission is helping people be able to achieve the dream of entrepreneurship. 76% of Americans, according to Gallup, say they'd like to own a business someday, but less than 1 out of 10 of us ever do. So our main mission, in between everything else, is trying to bring information and knowledge on how to run a business and how to start a business. We've been working with Tiara Norwood and her predecessor, Teresa,
at Nash
Community College. We've started working with Edgecombe, and I'm doing a little bit of counseling and training with would-be entrepreneurs, and I've done some volunteer work with them. I love that. And then the rest of it is just that everybody here, without exception, are locals. There's nobody with a shop in here that lives any farther away than Virginia Beach, Virginia. And I've got one in Virginia Beach, and the rest are within 10 miles of here. So all the money spent here, 100% of it stays here in the community.
Right.
Whereas if you buy it at one of the big box stores, about 70% of it goes to China.
Right.
Nothing against big box stores. I've shopped at all of them. But if you can spend money here in the community, it helps us all.
You had mentioned that your daughter has a shop here.
Oh, yeah.
So this is not just for adults with lots of stuff. It can be with anybody that's got a great idea, a product to sell, make, bake, cook, package. Is there any age requirements, or how does someone that is on the younger side get in to have a space?
They need a parent to sign the agreement, which isn't a long-term lease, it's just a 1 month agreement, but just so we have an adult on it. And yeah, entrepreneurial kids are excited. We've got the young lady, and I just lost her name, who just joined the chamber as the youngest member, the author.
Yes.
She's, what, 10 years old?
Yep, she's a lovely young lady.
Wrote a book on anti-bullying and has had it published. She's going to be here October 17th. We have a fall festival.
Very nice.
She'll be signing her book and giving it away along with several other Rocky Mount local authors. I didn't know we had Rocky Mount local authors. But our bookshop here, Peakwides, has been sort of putting that together and coordinating. We have actual local authors here, and hopefully that helps other folks who'd like to get into that business to have some confidence and to know you don't have to be, you don't have to be famous to be. These people are our neighbors.
Right. Well, there's definitely something here for everybody. You're kind of better than a TJ Maxx. All of your merchandise turns over, so it's worth coming in here, even if you were just in here the day before. You never know what's going to come out again.
That's right.
Items that are nostalgic, items that are brand new, your kids can find something, and it definitely helps get the creative juices flowing and gives you ideas. So we just want to thank you for everything that you've done in the community. We look forward to seeing what else you're going to do. And do you have any upcoming events other than the book authors that we should know about?
We have the Fall Festival the 17th. The 24th, we're having a car show. We got an auto detailing guy putting that together now. And the 31st, unless we get orders from high government officials that we can't, we'll have trick-or-treating here again.
Very nice.
Every year we do trick-or-treating. We'll have kids in costume, and a lot of our shop owners will bring their own candy. We'll give away candy up front to have a safe environment for the kids.
Well, that helps us know that there's a place in Rocky Mount where kids can still have a little bit of normalcy even in COVID, and hopefully get some trick-or-treat candy in a nice, safe space. And thank you for continuing to host events and letting us know that there's still a lot going on in Rocky Mount, and there are interesting ways for people to make some additional money during this time as well. So
thank you very much,
Fred, and congratulations on your Small Business of the Month win.
Thanks.
That was interesting to hear Aaron really let us know a whole lot about small shops. And now the heart and soul of the business, besides Fred, are the vendors. And there's a vendor right to the right when you come in the front door here, David Daniels. David, I'm going to read the name. It's Infinity PC Gaming and Entertainment. And I want to say right up front, this is an example of what Fred was talking about. David is a single father with a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old who, with the COVID, are at home studying. And this is a wonderful situation for him because it allows some flexibility for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And before you moved to your business here, and of course this is wonderful, it's a great space. You have 7-day-a-week people walking in, as Fred referenced. But tell us what it's meant to you to be here, David.
It's been absolutely incredible. I never would have been able to get off the ground in my own business in a retail location without this opportunity from small shops. I've had the opportunity to be here since day one, and the growth, just having that traffic flow come through every single day, that exposure is definitely not something you're going to get trying to operate this kind of business out of your home.
Oh, and to find a location yourself in bricks and mortar, not only the expense, but also to be sure it's in a high trafficked area.
Yeah, absolutely astronomical. Just the startup cost alone would have, broke me before I could even get off the ground.
Well, and with Christmas coming up, we want to help you out because we're all about local business.
Sure.
Tell us what types of things what you see for the holiday season and how you can help people with having great gifts.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of things I do. My primary business is building custom gaming computers. I specialize in building those high-end machines so your gaming community can actually have the good machines to do the high frame rate, high FPS, high resolution, competitive gaming that you see in the esports scene in that community. It's something I've been doing for a long time. I've got a lot of experience with that and being able to balance the best performing parts together to fit kind of any budget. And right now is really a good time for those folks that are looking for that kind of thing to come in, because I can sit with them. I can do a kind of like a custom questionnaire, find out what their likes are, what kind of games they play, what their budget is, how they want the computer to look. Aesthetics is huge when it comes to the custom gaming market. I can do the high-end water cooling that you don't find in this area. All the fancy RGB, custom lighting that everybody likes, and that kind of stuff.
People who your audience knows.
Right.
Yeah.
So, right now, that's the biggest thing for the holiday season. To top that off, TVs are huge for a holiday market. Fortunately, I don't sell TVs. I leave that to some of the other partners here. But I do offer TV and home theater installation services as well. So there's a lot of folks that purchase TVs as gifts. The person receiving the gift may want to have the TV mounted to their wall or whatnot, and that's something I can definitely
have it adjusted and set up, and if they want an audio bar or something, you can do all that?
Yes, absolutely. I can go out. I'll go out and do a free estimate, take a look at the space where the TV's going to go, give a recommendation on what the best type of wall mount is going to be, what the best kind of audio equipment would be for them as well, and kind of give them that customized experience at home.
And do people have to call well in advance to get you to schedule to do something like that?
They can give me a call. Usually it doesn't take me but a day or two to go out and do that kind of thing. I do have to balance that with me being here. A lot of times I'm here 7 days a week, so that is something that I do have to schedule the appointment for.
I love the story though with your kids, and that this is something that, if one of your children got sick, you would just, have to run, but you'd be back and that type of thing. And
yeah,
a lot
absolutely.
of jobs don't avail that.
Yeah, and that was one of the biggest challenges when I moved back home. I'm from this area originally. I spent 7 or 8 years in California. A lot of retail experience there. Unfortunate circumstances happened. I had to move back home. When I got home, I had several interviews. Nobody would hire me despite my management experience in retail, just because that question always came up, what I would do if something happened to my kids.
Yeah.
And the answer was, I'm going to go home. I want to take care of my kids, right? So this was the absolute ideal situation for me.
And the bullpen out front, when one walks in, they kind of keep an eye on things, and they can they take the money and sell things, and then
yes, absolutely. Yep.
Well, what are we looking at behind us real quickly?
Most of this is just an example of some of the parts and whatnot that I've had that I've used in custom builds for folks here in the past year or so. The TV, I usually have some videos going there off of YouTube, just showcasing different tech and that kind of thing. Couple of old laptops for conversation starters there. Get a lot of questions on those. Those are all Windows 95, Windows 98 era laptops. So, couple of spare parts, and then this beauty right here is going to be my upcoming showcase build for here. This is what I'm going to show off to have my real work of art, my centerpiece here. So this will be coming finish up here in the next month or so.
Oh, okay. But to recap before we finish, if people want you to custom build something, you'll work within their budget, you'll work with all their ideas of what they want, you'll suggest if they don't know what to ask for.
Absolutely.
But the sooner the better if it's going to be a Christmas present.
Definitely.
Okay. David, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
We are back. Thank you for staying with us with Fred George. Fred, I thoroughly enjoyed talking to David. And he seems to that must warm your heart. He kind of exudes the type of person for whom a business in a location like this is ideally suited as a single dad. That situation, you must hear that a lot. I bet there are a lot of people who have a story like he does, who are able to own their own business because of small shops.
That's absolutely true. We've got single dads, single moms, folks working 40 and 60 hours a week for low-paying jobs who need an additional profit center, additional income, and who can have an additional business without spending hours a week. They come in a couple of hours a week, and they're all done.
And you handle everything for them. You handle their sales. You make sure their stuff is safe. So once they get it here, then you take care of the rest.
All the headaches. We take care of sales tax, cash register tape, internet, credit card processing, employees, which is the biggest thing. And we're open 361 days a year, I think, at this point. We have events. We take all of the headache out of it and let them have the creative part. And hopefully, like David has talked about opening his own shop in a shopping center sometime. We'd love to see that. I've told him, if you want to move to your own shopping center space, let me help you negotiate the lease, because I'm experienced.
Good, yeah.
And we'd love to have people graduate from this to be in their own thing. And we've got David, who's one of the most impressive here. His story is amazing. He's an amazing man. And several other people. But yeah, it's been really rewarding over the last 2 years to watch people grow. David is 10 times the businessman he was 2 years ago.
Well, and I want to throw out something that I think a lot of people, maybe who haven't been in here, don't realize. A significant portion of what you sell is brand new.
Oh, yeah.
I've kind of had somewhat of this, and we're in the antiques area, which, of course, this is not brand new stuff. This is recycled with love.
Oh, yeah.
But where do people get their merchandise that they sell here, so they can amass it and then come and hang it? Because you've got beautiful things here.
Well, there's a number of it. A lot of it is what they call Amazon Overstocks, which is if someone orders something on Amazon and then doesn't take delivery, they cancel the order before it ships, if it's been pulled off the shelves or anything like that, Amazon doesn't restock it. They take that item and take a forklift and put it in a trailer, and then they sell those trailers. And we buy some of those, so we get a lot of new electronics and tools and furniture, lots of beautiful new furniture. We've gotten Target loads as well that way. And then I've got a number of folks who buy from wholesalers. Our pet supply guy, he has a soap he manufactures here in Nash County, but he also gets some really high-end pet toys that he brings in. A lot of it's wholesale.
Prices are really good too. I mean, if your prices seem better than normal retail prices here.
Well, our overhead is lower, which sounds it sounds made up, but our overhead is not only lower for our merchants than renting a shopping center space would be, particularly once you add in labor, because paying employees is expensive. In some cases, we've been cheaper than online sales. Our booksellers, Pequod's, beautiful selection of wonderful books, rare books, leather-bound books, all kind of stuff. But him and his family, who are lovely people, were only selling online. And within the first couple of months they opened a tiny little shop back there with a few spare bookshelves and a few books. And they've expanded, I think, 11 times since then.
Wonderful.
Now they take up 8 or 10 spaces. They found that there's less overhead here than there is online, because by the time you pay listing fees, completed item fees, shipping materials, returns, just selling it here, cheaper than online in most cases, makes them more money. So the business model works, and I'd love to take credit for it, but it's a total ripoff of something my uncle did in Kentucky. He's got 20 locations, a lot like this, and I flew to Kentucky, and he gave me a lot of his time. He was a great man, and taught me a lot about the business. And I came and I chose Rocky Mount as the area I wanted to start it in.
Well, I want to talk to you about how you now are so graciously taking your knowledge and teaching it to other people, not only here, but at the community colleges, which you and Aaron talked about. But walk us through, and we're going to acknowledge up front, there's no way you can remember. How many people are here now?
Probably got 60 or so,
okay,
maybe more.
No way you can, but give us kind of categories and types of things that are here, and we'll give people kind of a visual tour of it.
Yeah. So we've got all kind of stuff. One of the most unusual is trackside restaurant equipment, which has a store downtown by the railroad tracks. They have a selection here, mostly of small items. A lot of the local restaurateurs come in and buy stuff. If at Barley and Burger they break a spatula, they run over here. He's been here since the beginning. We've got a NASCAR store, lots of old NASCAR collectibles that are just beautiful. The bookstore I've mentioned before, I've probably spent $1,000 on books there.
You can always bring it back and resell them, though.
I never resell them, though. I just keep them. So we've got that. We've got several furniture dealers, including the antiques. We've got DVDs, mattresses,
electronics,
lots of electronics, lots of women's apparel and some men's apparel and shoes, jewelry, several different grades of jewelry, from the paparazzi stuff, which sells great, and our paparazzi lady is great, to some fine jewelry up at the Trade It location. You got Trade It where you can buy and sell stuff. We've got Dixie Belle paints, which folks use. It's a chalk paint. I'd never heard of them before I got here. But you can paint furniture without having to primer it at all.
Ooh.
And she
Good.
sells an amazing amount of paint, and also paints herself and sells it in her shop. We have a paint party business in here, and she just had an event in our event room this weekend.
So you have an event room?
Oh yeah, in the back.
Okay.
It's free. Anybody who wants to use it, who's renting space here, can rent it for free. Any nonprofit who wants a space can use it for free. It's part of what makes this place a destination, we think. What else do we have? Lots of clothing. We have TV antennas. A guy named Dwight, who's lived in Rocky Mount, I think, for the last 70 years. He sells TV antennas. And it's a weird business model. TV antennas and Amazon Fire Sticks. And does a great business in just those two things. The pet guy. It's called Sudsy Paws Soap. It's a pet soap made here, and it's on a bar, which seems bizarre, but it works really well. And then he's got pet toys and supplies there too. The interesting thing there is, on a lark, I bought a bar of it for my dog, for one of our dogs, the pit bull who doesn't like liquid soap, and I ran out of soap, and so I tried it. I liked it a lot. And so,
not on you, but on your dog.
On me. I tried it on me.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's got citronella, lemon, and lots of moisturizer, and I liked it. And I ended up telling my girlfriend about it, who made fun of me. And then I eventually got her to try it once. Now she uses it. It's one of the best soaps I've ever used. It's not made for people, but it doesn't have flea powder in it or anything.
Yeah, good.
And then if you want human soap, we've got Night Owl, I think she calls it business. There's a little owl on her soap logo. She makes soap right here in the area. She has a black facial bar that I use, and my girlfriend likes her stuff better than the pet soap,
the
actually.
The dog soap.
Yeah.
Right.
But she's got beautiful things.
This is just an amazingly chock full of great stuff.
Well, thank you.
And people, it's no wonder you have people wandering in. Because when you come in, it's like, oh, you have this, oh, you have that. Am I looking over there? Is that like whey protein, or do you have any vitamin type thing? We do have a workout supplement store that's that one's mine. I like to work out some, and I only sell. I don't make much money off it because I'm giving away as much as I've sold probably. But there's a brand called Beverly International. They make some of the best protein powders in the business. They've been out since 1970, and they don't sell to big chains. They won't sell to GNC. Or they would, but they charge them the same price they charge me. I love their product, so I carry it. And then there's a product called Frog Fuel we carry there too, which was invented by a Navy SEAL, and it's a collagen protein where they've added the extra essential amino acids, because collagen doesn't have everything you need, and broken the molecule down so it all digests in 15 minutes. They're both products I like a lot, so we sell them. No better thing to do than sell something that you're.
That's right.
That's right. Like and want.
I believe in them. I had a buddy got sick and was losing weight. I said, "Here, try this. You'll like it." It's just a great product.
Well, let's roll into your love of teaching, because not only are you're the epitome of an entrepreneur yourself, but you want to take that skill set. Your uncle taught you how to do this, and now you're passing it on to others. What are some of the things you do?
Well, I learned business from my uncle. I learned about this one from my parents, about everything else. I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. So I don't have a degree. I don't have any piece of paper saying I know how to run businesses, but I learned how to run businesses growing up. So, for years and years, I just wanted to run businesses and make money and employ people and please customers. My passion the last few years, last 3, I guess, has been to take some of that knowledge that's been given to me freely and to find a way to share it with other people. Because as I say way too much, most people want to own a business someday. Most people never even get to try. They never get out of the starting gate.
And Rocky Mount is the epitome of that. And I've also heard, in proportionally wise, we have more black people than here. And don't they actually statistically want to open and own their small business more
Absolutely.
than white people?
The African American community has far more desire for entrepreneurship than the white community. And less access sometimes to the knowledge and to the money to get them started. And there's ways to start with almost no money.
That's where you and the small business centers can really be helpful.
Yeah, our missions overlap. I can't duplicate everything they can do. If you go to the Small Business Center, Tierra Norwood can get you in touch with an expert on literally any subject in the world of business. I'm very good at a few little areas, but those are areas somebody can make a living in. And so, yeah, I enjoy teaching and working with people and helping them find ways to get around the roadblocks, because you just have to jump in.
And also to have somebody who, yeah, I tried that and it didn't work for me, or yeah, I think kids today, or young people, or people who might think about going to business, don't realize that not everything you've done is worked out the way you wanted to. And I know I ran a business for 16 years, and every now and then, I've got 2 sons, I would say, I didn't do that right. Or HR, as you mentioned, nobody has HR problems here, and that's one of the most difficult things as a business person. But to let them see that it's okay to fail because you learn from your failures.
Well, it's not a failure if you learn.
Yeah.
It's only a failure if you do it again.
Okay. It's kind of like sin.
Yeah. But I've made a bunch of really expensive mistakes. And a wise man learns from his mistakes of others. I was never that wise. I had to make the mistakes myself. My dad will tell you that. But there are some people who are a little more wise than I am, and I can tell them about the mistakes I've made, and they become better.
We got 1 minute. Wrap us up with kind of addressing, I know you've done TV shows, so you're good at this. Why do people need to come in here, and why do they need to consider this as something that they can do either themselves or patronize it to help the community?
Thank you for that question. Easy. The reason to shop here is because your neighbors have stores here, and because we have great merchandise. You won't find a better store. You won't find as many stores where the owner might be somebody you bump into at Walmart or the restaurant down the street or a Little League game as you will here. This is the place for that. And if you've ever wanted to go into business, if you've had any dreams of retail in particular, this is the easiest, least risky way to get to retail. You can rent a space here for about the cost of a cup of Starbucks coffee, or if you're locally minded, Lorraine Coffee, which is wonderful as well. About a cup of coffee a day, and there's no lease. So you can't lose big. You can lose a cup of coffee a day, but you can't go bankrupt. And if you want to start a business that's not retail, talk to the folks at Small Business Center. I know I sound like a cheerleader. Tierra Norwood, she's great. The Edgecombe Small Business Center, also great. They can give you tools and resources you'd never find on your own. And
you cover the overhead, you cover the cash register, you cover all that.
Everything.
We are so proud to have you in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations again for being Small Business of the Month for
Thanks.
October. Thank you. Have a great day.